Hey, Taurus. Wow, what a year. And you just had a Taurus full moon. As I'm doing these readings, I have kind of adjusted how I do things a little bit around here, which is probably a good thing. Oh, man. Yeah, I feel like we're all kind of releasing a lot of tension. I like that. Okay. Nope. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Oh, should I take all these? Sure. Alright. Plenty then. 5 of Pentacles reverse, 7 of Wands reverse, 4 of Wands, King of Pentacles reverse, 10 of Wands reverse, the World reverse, oh my god, High Priestess, Queen of Swords, 6 of Swords in reverse, the Hermit, and the Knight of Cups. Okay, Taurus. I'm just kind of like feeling into this read. Oh, I'll pull a little dog for you too. They're dog playing cards, and I'm kind of just trying new things. Experimenting a little. Oh, it feels like too many. I'll just take this one. Okay. This is King of Wands energy. Okay. Taurus. Well, I think a lot has happened, dude. I mean, full moon in your sign, I think, was pretty big. And I know from my previous readings, you've maybe been going through it this year, like, on a really heavy level. For some reason, you're being, like, really impacted by all of this, and that's super valid. Well, whoops. We got this 5 of Pentacles in reverse. And I think it's good to see it here in reverse, because it feels kind of like... And we got this. With these, I kind of just felt like you are, I think, just feeling a little bit safer, hopefully, and like kind of letting your guard down. Like with this, I definitely get the letting your guard down. And with the 5 of Pentacles, it's usually about feeling left out in the cold, but it's kind of like you were experiencing this 5 of Pentacles energy. You were experiencing the 7 of Wands energy of like, I don't trust you. I'm putting my arms up. Like, go away. Like, you stay on your side. I'll be on my side. I don't believe that you're gonna like, share any of these pentacles with me. I feel like I have to do this my own way. It just feels like everything before is kind of like a pushing everyone away energy. Feeling maybe like you wanted to be alone, but also like protecting yourself. And this feels like you're getting a little more vulnerable and kind of like letting just a little bit of healing in. I think we all are, but like, I think this is how it's playing out for you. It's just you're kind of relaxing out of a heightened state of like, feeling alone and combative, I hope, anyway. And with this Hermit in reverse, yeah, it just feels kind of like maybe you were just an echo of what I just said, like feeling very like alone in the world, like not maybe on a literal level, but just in a like being seen and understood and able to coexist. And so it's like you had to go inward though. Like I don't think it was a bad thing that you've maybe been in this state, if this is resonating with you, if this is your message. If it's not, then you would know and you would just turn it off. Okay. So yes, I feel like this is where you've been. This whole story right here is like, this is where you've been. And you're coming kind of out of it, I think. And we got the World in reverse, and the 6 of Swords in reverse. So it's like, with these, it's like interesting. I guess it feels like the happy ending of the movie, for sure. Like, it feels good. It feels kind of like I mean, because we got the Four of Wands, right? And this is a really great card. And then we got the Knight of Cups. And the King of Wands. We got a lot to talk about. And the Queen of Swords. And the High Priestess. So, I think there's a lot of, like, good kind of things coming, or just good things present. And also some good changes in the mix. Because the world is cycles ending, major cycles ending and beginning, kind of like that turning point of like, we're in the new, like, I mean, like, we are moving into the age of Aquarius, right? And like, we literally are. So it's like, I think with that, like, age of Aquarius stuff, like, that notion of, we're entering a new world and like maybe we're gonna like embark in these boats to kind of like sail that way, and it's like kind of, I think, like coming out of that dark tunnel, right? Like that's what we were talking about over here, was like this kind of wounded space that maybe you'd been like kind of acting from or feeling from or existing in or identifying with, right? And then I think it's kind of like I think we're all at that pause between end of 2020 and beginning of 2021. I mean, it's how every year is. But this year especially, it's just heightened because everything this year has been heightened. So I think with this, it's like, it's kind of like, I know we're gonna like move forward, and like I know that like this is the end of one thing and the beginning of a new thing, but it's like kind of just not quite taking that next step. It's that breath, I think, before the in between the breaths, right? So it's kind of where we are as a collective, and maybe it's especially impacting you. And I'm like, if someone new were being inaugurated, for example, I think we would all be excited about that. And we'd be moving away from all this pain towards that. But I think there's a lot of like loose ends to tie up too to get to that point, and that may be happening collectively again. And like I think just on this internal level, maybe we're feeling that too, of kind of being like maybe a little shell-shocked or traumatized by the past story, and being a little fearful, and like having just kind of like this anticipation of like, well, what's next, right? Like kind of those fears are still coming up, even though things are looking very good. Obviously, Four of Wands, new foundations, happiness. This turtle is just chilling, right? It's like slow and steady wins the race, and like who cares about the race when you can just like chill and bask in the nature of the mystery of nature and the moment, the present moment, which I guess is very important or something, right? So this feels very like being present and grateful and like blissed out in the moment, kind of like on a constant level, and letting things come from that. That sounds really good. Kind of what you're moving toward, but fears and anxieties, etc. might be surfacing, because we also got this Ten of Wands in reverse, and that just feels a little bit like well, hold on. Okay. It might feel like you have so much more to go in a weird way, but you really don't. I think it's just being so close to the finish line that it feels a little like, it's like, because it's a releasing of burdens, really, is what I think is happening. But I think the releasing of these burdens, this moving into this more present, happy state, again, it's just sort of so new, and I think it feels just, it's just a big shift. And so I think there's a lot of this and this. We got all these court cards. Oh man. Okay. King of Pentacles in reverse. Knight of Cups upright. Queen of Swords and the High Priestess. Oh, and the King of Wands. Well, he is an interesting character. He seems like he wants, it's like, I don't know what this guy wants, you know? King of Wands. Well, I would just say, with all these court cards, that there are, yeah, I would say different aspects of yourself, most likely. Queen of Swords, she's very analytical. And she just wants things to be a certain way. And I think she wants order. And I think she wants truth and clarity, especially. Just kind of, and I think she can be a little impatient. And that's not her in her detriment. She's not right now in her detriment. So I would just say it's like not taking any shit. And Taurus, it's like I think you're gonna be okay. Sorry, I'm channeling, and sometimes I guess energy makes me sleepy. I guess, and it also makes me spacey sometimes, and then I'm like, where was I? um, yeah, this guy seems good, but like, it's at night, so I feel like this is aspects of you, Taurus, that just wanting answers in a way. And I think like holding down the fort for justice as well. Like I think there's just sort of a nurturing feminine clarity vibe about this, of like just not letting people get away with shit. That just feels really what this is. King of Pentacles in reverse, I would just say it's like tone it down on your earth energy in a way. I know that's like seems rude to say to a Taurus. I love earth energy, but I think the earth absolutely needs some water at times. Like I just think you maybe as a Taurus need to like kind of nourish yourself and let yourself be nourished by others, and like not worry so much about like making everything concrete in a way, but just kind of like letting things be soft. That's how I'm reading this. It's like you want clarity and like you want your answers, but also like you kind of, in order to feel like grounded in a weird way, you kind of have to soften. I feel like it's like a lot about that vulnerability. So like just to bring it to the beginning, it's like you're coming out of this like kind of like wounded defensive state of like being like projecting all of your insecurities outward. You're kind of moving towards a state of letting yourself feel loved and safe, etc. Four of Wands, chilling and letting go of the burden. It's just kind of not feel like carrying the weight of the world so much anymore. And to do this, you're wanting clarity, and you need to not take anyone's shit, because that's part of having those boundaries of like being able to let in the good stuff. It's like strong cell walls, right? Letting in the good and like being able to hold back what you don't want in your system. And then at the same time, it's kind of like changing your ways a little bit. So not being so like it has to be. I was working on a project with someone, and it's like I can get really attached to my own ideas of things, and with that air energy too of like wanting clarity, and like I think it's like kind of like this is about letting in a flow and letting it just all be different and just letting it happen, and like that's a good thing. Because being present in the moment with that Four of Wands too, and maybe with this High Priestess, like I think the High Priestess is kind of like you maybe leveling up, you rising into, I would say, a higher vibe version of yourself. Like you've maybe been acting from kind of a low vibe or more of a low vibe state. And sorry. Oh yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just accepting that tarot readings make me yawn. So does like EFT tapping. Like I'm like some things make me yawn because I guess it's like releasing energy. So the High Priestess, it's like, yeah, you're changing, and you're changing into like just higher aspects of Taurus, really. I mean, even this isn't quite, this is like a deer, but I would say that would still give me Taurus vibes, you know? Just kind of like, it's almost like it's like the feminine bull in a way, you know? Like, and maybe that's part of it too, is like just stepping into more of your feminine aspect because you are ruled by Venus. So I think it's like kind of like maybe I would say healing your own relationship to Venus and to love and to beauty. Like, um, yeah. I got this King of Wands little dog. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like this dog doesn't look like someone whose beliefs I necessarily agree with. I could be wrong. I don't know this dog that well. But I think that's like just pairing it next to the High Priestess. It's like maybe this is what you are doing too, and maybe as you deepen your relationship with the feminine side of your nature, you are kind of parsing out your relationship to the masculine. This fire masculine energy of kind of the passion of what you are invested in, but like kind of also to bring it back to that Queen of Swords, kind of like working on, and like with the High Priestess, like working on finding clarity. And I think really this month for you, Taurus, is just about finding the truth. I would say truth feels like a big theme, but like you're finding the truth not through being the same way you've always been. You're finding the truth through like kind of shifting a little bit your approach or the way you like your elements kind of flow, moving again more in a feminine energy, and then seeing the masculine kind of shadow stuff, maybe even kind of from a different perspective, both maybe more personal and more objective, like getting in really close and like seeing it from like a bird's eye view, just kind of getting, I would say, a bigger scope of what it is to that your journey that you've been through, the change and the shift that we're kind of talking about over here with this stuff. Six of Swords, the World, and these guys. So that's your reading basically. Wow. These readings are either a mess or they're great. I don't know. Or both. And maybe life can be both, I guess. Alright. Big changes. And good changes, though. Necessary changes. And informative, life-changing. So, we'll all get through it. But it's really kind of, I think, incorporating 2020. And it's like the savasana of yoga, right? Like 2020 was like a really intense yoga workout. And then we're kind of moving into the like savasana period, which will be good. But maybe it's like more like the wind down, right? It's like the stretching. And maybe the stretching like kind of it connects you into your body more. Maybe, we'll see. I don't know. Okay, bye.